Black Francis, Giant Man Baby Abstract Plane from the LP Teenager of the Year.
This is Alice Cooper. Isn't Sybil Roscoe a twat?
Now, checking out bowing across the country this evening, Peter Baynham in our Edinburgh studio. Peter, how are you doing?
Not so bad. I've just come across a bowing scheme that the police are operating in Newport in South Wales, which is on a 12-year trial. Bowing is still, of course, very strong in parts of Whitby, I found out. There's a swimming pool down there where lifeguards have to bow before jumping in to save somebody.
What about bowing in Edinburgh? It used to be very, very strong there,
It used to be senselessly strong up here a couple of years ago, but now it's really just the staff at Fenwick's department store.
Rather contrived, kind of.
Yeah. It's foolish, it's made up. I mean, I thought I saw an old man continuing the practice on the Royal Mile the other day. I thought he was going to bow to me as I walked past, but he actually carried on to the ground and just slumped over a pork barrel.
Could you note that down for 1FM Slump Week?
Will do.
Have you seen any other slumps in Edinburgh?
Yeah, well, on the morning of my arrival, there was a huge pigeon slump blocking the train doors when I arrived.
What about car slumps? I saw a couple of car slumps in Edinburgh a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's still a lot of that. Cars all slumped on one side.
Down a lane down a narrow lane, there was a slump of about 7 cars all slumped in a heap.
I saw some slumped cars yesterday, about dawn, actually.
Were you up around dawn?
Oh, yeah.
That's a very good time in Edinburgh to see the castle wandering around having a wank.
Yes.
There's a dog slump blocking Lincoln at the moment, actually. I don't know if you could put that down as well.
Yeah, I will do. On my way up here, of course, I noticed that big property slump in Newcastle due to the giraffes as I came up there.
Giraffes?
Yep.
Are they still there?
They are. There's about 150 of them now. Can you believe it?
No, because there were about 50 on the Channel 4 documentary, weren't there? And that was about 12 months ago.
I know. Well, they've been breeding.
Because they escaped from that dynamic, didn't they? And they now live in the cooling chimneys or in burrows.
Burrows in the centre of Newcastle.
But they're real pests, aren't they?
Well, they are basically vermin. I mean, they're nocturnal and they're sort of black, brown and dirty and oily and hard to see, covered in Coke cans. And of course, they disrupt the rubbish tips in the skips.
And now they're taken to murdering flower arrangements in shopping precincts and smashing their heads through first-floor windows of department stores.
That's right.
And chewing up all the cotton stuff, isn't it?
This is having a shocking effect on property prices, of course.
Which have slumped.
But have you actually seen them?
Right. The giraffes? No.
Yeah.
No, have you?
God, yes.
Where? Last week?
Yeah, when I was in Newcastle.
How?
I mean, well, you only actually see them when they've made a mistake. Because, what they do is, they often attack the sodium street lamps. I saw a cluster of about 5 or 6 of them, all around a street lamp, banging their heads into it like moths.
Yeah.
Their necks get tied together.
That's right, I remember that. Their necks get tied together, and then the trappers just come along and whisk them off. Unless, of course, it's the mating season.
Well, it gets terrible in the mating season.
Because they're really aggressive, aren't they?
Very, very aggressive. And, of course, they get really into those lamps. They smash the lamps. Their heads get fused together. It's horrible. It's really horrible.
And they blacken. Well, these big sort of frozen blackened statues are called Darwin's tripods.
Darwin's tripods, that's right. Yeah.
And the social impact is huge as well, of course, in Newcastle now, because they've been championed by
the gays.
That's right. Yeah. And they're not just icons, are they?
No, they're not just gay icons. The gays go around riding them.
In fact, you could draw your curtain in many guest houses and look out across a park or a field and
you see
gays riding around on giraffes, on the back of giraffes. And some of them are skipping, aren't they, and playing games, and they have festivals. And I suppose this time of year is particularly bad for the gays.
Autumn is.
Because the Darwin's tripods are in profusion, aren't they?
I mean, I saw something the other day, and it is quite touching and quite tragic, actually, when you see a Darwin's tripod surrounded by weeping gays.
At dawn.
It was at dawn,
In Queensgate, damp and grey.
Yep.
The Tyne's breath creeps, slick-filmed slimestone greasy underfoot. Sodium halos burn like static orange tracers. But wait. One is missing. Peer and deep through the grey-pink light, we creep to see, and lo, oh Enoch! Horror, death, stench, hairbosh. There, the Darwin's tripod, still smoking, still creaking, yet brittle as a sugar Volvo and twice as black. Fused and carbonized, as never they were meant to be, in a ring of weeping gaze. We look, and we respect you in your grief, and repair for bitter black coffee and burnt croissants at Tonio's.
Yeah, cheers, Chris, anyway.
Cheers, man.
Yo, could I get a cold beverage? I need some...